Hello friends, and welcome to our Soundcheck video. We've had to make a few adjustments to how we do business, so I've had to shuffle a few members of my staff around to make sure that people are within my bubble.
Dad, is this what I do to hold the strings on?
Give my brother the guitar.
Hey, could I have my per diem?
Tell my mama not to worry about money quite so much.
And pirouette. Now your turn,
Never
Steven.
turn your back upon a second chance. Never trust a guy.
I am trying to hit the high E.
I know you need to.
Yes, I've been doing my warm-ups. Hopefully you can see me and you can hear me, in which case we're ready to roll.
Hey, Dad, it's almost time for the show.
Cause the ceiling gonna shatter. And believe me when it does, those who pin it to the margins, baby, they'll be sweeping up.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Stephen Kellogg, and I'm here at an undisclosed location.
Well, we'll start with a man who we are always happy to welcome back on the mountain stage. This is his 6th visit.
Really excited. Stephen Kellogg is with us.
Singer-songwriter Stephen Kellogg has shared a few singles.
It goes.
Back in the day, he used to do 275 days a year on the road.
Live at the Bay Studios with Stephen Kellogg.
I'd never heard your music before. I really loved it.
The thing is, I have been kicking around here for almost 20 years now, you know.
I know what you're saying.
He does what he does best, which is mine his own life to come up with some truths. Paul Simon does it too. A lot of great writers do it, and I think he's right up there with them.
I'm not a guy that gives up. I never give up.
Sold out show tonight at Wolfram. Please welcome our friend, Mr. Stephen Kellogg.
I go la 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 la.
Please welcome Mr. Stephen Kellogg.
My name is Stephen Kellogg, professional singer and songwriter. It's better to be at the bottom of a ladder you want to climb than the top of one you don't. I got that from The Office.
There'll be objects in the mirror.
I think Stephen is brave, you know, so as an artist, he's an artist's artist.
As we look back through the looking glass.
His music is pretty much the most honest music I've ever listened to in my life. It's like he's writing in his diary.
Gotta dance like a symphony of joy.
In his music, he exudes optimism, a belief in all our abilities to transcend and persevere.
I always say that he's one of the greatest lyricists of our time.
All the way from the East Coast, Mr. Stephen Kellogg. I got all I ever wanted, but I still cannot believe how I love to take for granted all the love that comes to me, all the love.
So I'm just there to say thank you so much for your service. They're away from their families for much more than we are as musicians.
I've always kind of operated in different genres, so it gave me a chance to kind of indulge that.
After seeing that film about you, Last Man Standing, I have a new appreciation.
Do you remember who we were when all this began?
15 years. I do this because I don't feel that I have an option. And it's also how I feed my family, so.
For me, music just has to say something.
Gonna be the last man standing.
He has also written a book of corresponding essays about life, marriage, and music.
Writing the book is harder than I thought.
Yeah.
I'm about to start work on a new project. A series of essays that correspond.
It's like I got 4 daughters. I want to see them grow up, and I want to dream new dreams. Welcome, my friends. Welcome to the Winter Tour 2021. I want to start by reading you something that I was reading I was reading this in bed, finishing it up the other night, and I said, I think I'm going to read this at the show. I was finishing the book The Plague by Albert Camus. It came out in 1942, and I was finishing it up. I said to my wife, Kirsten, I said, I think I'm going to read this. And she said, you're not going to read that. And that's when I knew that I was going to read it. So here we go. Once plague had shut the gates of the town, they had settled down to a life of separation, debarred from the living warmth that gives forgetfulness of all. In different degrees, in every part of the town, men and women had been yearning for a reunion. Not of the same kind for all, but for all alike ruled out. Most of them had longed intensely for an absent one, for the warmth of a body, for love, or merely for a life that habit had endeared. Some, often without knowing it, suffered from being deprived of the company of friends and from their inability to get in touch with them through the usual channels of friendship, letters, trains, and boats. Others, fewer these, had desired reunion with something they couldn't have defined, but which seemed to them the only desirable thing on earth. For want of a better name, they sometimes called it peace. My friends, I'm going to play some sad songs tonight, and I hope that they bring you some peace. Driving through the great white north, the mountains, they were all spring-loaded, gushing like a divorcee who'd finally found someone to love her. Little feet and great big dreams, you know that I'm so sentimental. It's not as easy as it seems. There's only so much one can handle, and maybe on May Day I will carry with me a memory of the way my darlings grew. And grew. I'm not the person that I was. I'm not the one you used to run to. You will not hear from me because of shame that I have brought upon you. And maybe on May Day I could be as happy as I looked in that photograph with you. It was you. You. And you can find me in the aisles of a truck stop where the toys are all half price. And I'm disappointed. Just because I'm smiling doesn't mean that I am happy with my life. But I've got this thing I do, and I've got this love for you. I've got this thing I do, love. I've got it for you. And maybe on May Day I will find forgiveness for the awful things I did to you. And the way that I left you. How I left you. Go on. You never get used to the roar of the crowd. How I will miss that joke. I don't know if you've heard the news, but tomorrow morning we are breaking down this particular studio. Now that doesn't mean we're never going to do another virtual show. In fact, we will be doing virtual shows because I have been missing this very much since we ended our spring tour winter tour a couple months ago. And I've been playing some in-person shows. I'm going to talk a little bit about that tonight. But I really love this and have loved it, and yet it's time to build a new set and see what the future holds. And so tomorrow we're gonna break it down in the morning. So soak it in. Stonehenge SK, the little hidden gems over here. You toke it in. I said toke it in instead of take it in, but whichever works for you, it's fine. Do what you got to do to get by. I'm going to take one last roll call here. I would like to thank tonight's ticket buyers by name. This has been one of the great honors of my career to give roll call for the last year and a half. Somehow doesn't work the same when you're at an in-person show, but man, it feels good here. So I would like to thank my friends James Mershon, Ron Kepnick, Melissa Fitz, Amanda Joyce, Paola Rosado and Steven, Jen Herrick, Jen Willick, Christopher Burkett and the Boatcast podcast, Alyssa Love, Kendra Hill, Jocelyn Robich, Scott Hurley, Susan Hickenbottom, Shante Ben, Zerlinda Jesse, Jim and Sarah Schellenberger, Hannah Sklar, Christine Haddon, Leanne Kruger, Clayton Ames, Rachel Hawkins, Mary Betsy Caffrey. It's a birthday for Chris Rode. Happy birthday. Oh, I think I thanked Christopher Burkett in the Boatcast podcast, but the host is actually Chris Rode. So, Christopher Burkett, thank you too, and thank the podcast twice. Happy birthday, Chris. Nicholas Jacob, my friends Luke, Meek, and Dre, Hannah, the Simmons family who's tuned into so many of these shows. Thank you for always being here, as well as our friends in town here, the Oliars, who led me through a treacherous 2-7 soccer season. Thank you, Oliars, for letting me be a coach, something I probably never would have done, especially in soccer, had I not had this opportunity. Here's to you. Carolyn Snell, Deborah Linder, Thomas and Mary Gilding, my pal Kenny Corbett down in Nashville, Sean Callahan, Michelle Orr, Devin Waldron, Bailey and Crandall Rogers, Ann Rowley, Megan Watt, Kimberly Lorenz, Julie Fancy, Rebecca Davis, Andrea Bobb, Kate Cesarski, Allison Hammer, who I'm now on my second draft of co-authoring a novel with. So excited about that. Allison's books are always here on the shelf. We're proud of you, and it's been another great rose in this whole pandemic, getting to know you, Allison. Thank you for tuning in tonight and insisting on buying a ticket, which I really didn't have to do, but it's lovely that you do it. Hannah Mesberg, Catherine Holman, Lissy Bauer, Debbie Axelbund, Matt and Julie Moog, who I just played at their house out in New Jersey. It was great fun. Thank you for the cornhole game. Maggie Shaver, Barbara and Joe Gardner out in San Diego, Erica Toyer, Cecily and Ellie Stepney, Eric Baker and his cheese enterprise out in Wisconsin. Next week, we're hoping to announce an in-person Wisconsin date, and I'd love to see the whole Baker crew down there. Corey Chancellor, Natalie Vasirka, Timothy Walsh, Tracy Summers, Barry Schneider, Stephen Martin, Mary Shaw, David Carr, Katie Roberts and her beautiful mom, Debbie Armstrong, Katie Armstrong, and Cheryl Armstrong, who always buy their tickets together, and we all know that. We're like the Armstrong clan. Good for you guys. Colleen Weiler, Lindsay Bender, Lisa Scagliotti, Helen Lee Smith across the pond, Lindsay Langnecker, James Pastore Jr., my running mate, Lucille Caulfield, Carlos Newman, Max Selleck, Justin McHenry, Katie Brooks, Tim McGuire, Chad Cross, Kelly Tolley, Rob Colony, Joseph Quistina, Justin Shady, the Labadia family, one of our first times in a restaurant in years, Now it seems it was great to be with you guys, and love to you and your gigantic family and tremendous amount of children. Marissa Fesson, Amy Dina, Stefan Thiessen, Brittany Nisko, Gina Nisko, Lars Hansen, the Glenn family, Mary Beth Keim, John Malinowski, Holly Hoff, Betha Gordon, Curtis Egner, Catherine Gibson, Joanne Wardrip, Lindsay Dowse, Mallory Seaman, and Aaron Jones. You guys are tonight's roll call. Thank you so much for being tonight's ticket buyers and for coming to our virtual show and trusting us with the saddest songs I've got. Now let me just say before I move into songs that tonight's roll call was presented by the Kellogg Family Store, which you can see, this is a pretty true situation here. You just see Kirsten here because she is largely in charge of the Kellogg Family Store. And my line is, bunch of assholes, but they get the job done. Hey-o. It's going to be a lot of sad songs, so I'm going to have to say some lighthearted things throughout the night. Putting together which sad songs to play, it became very apparent that there are some glaring omissions, and a volume 2 will probably be in order sometime in the fall. But for right now, I'm going to proceed with a song off the Last Sixers record. And this is one of those sad songs that I didn't realize it was really sad until I started singing it and started realizing how much of myself and my experiences I had put into the song. Sometimes songs are like that. I think most of the theme in most of these songs is either going to be death, divorce, or growing up. And this one would probably fall under the divorce category. Or for anybody who ever grew up in a house where there was tension. This one's called Charlene. Lazy was the last thing that he said, but at that point in the story we had lost the thread. We were all afraid he was describing us. His poison was exceptional, his rants could be contagious. Charlie was a drinker who came east, different from the northerners. He learned to hide the beast, and though he'd never hit you, there was always fear. When the man began his slide, no one could interfere. Old man, since you've gone, I've moved on, but I miss you. Though you weren't kind, you could shine when you wanted to. Charlie and Annie, Annie was the woman about town. Dark red curls, a body that her dress was built around, and she could turn the head of any man she met. Those who got her into bed were forever in her debt. Annie, when you leave, I believe that you'd gone for good. You'd be a star without Charlie and motherhood. Charlie and Annie, Charlie and Annie. Charlie and Annie, the drunkard and the centerfold, Charlie and Annie, the dandelion and the marigold, Charlie and Annie. Our life, it began in this household, in this household. But I tried to please you, la da 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 da, la da da da, la da 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 da, la da da da. And this is how you set us up. Yeah, but this is how you show your love. And this is how you set us up. Yeah, but this is how you show your love. Charlie and Annie. Yes, we have the applause twice tonight because after doing about 72 of these shows, give or take, you get very used to not hearing applause ever. And then now that I've been out and I've done 10 in-person shows, you really start to require the applause again. So Shady, who does the slides, was kind enough to put 2 applauses in here tonight to get you in the habit. Because quite honestly, going back out, people have sort of forgotten how to be at a show. Basically, people, they've sort of forgotten, like, that it's, like, okay to sing along, or, my first show back, one guy was, it might have been a date, he was trying to pick up his girl all night, like, in full voice, just to where we're all, at one point, we're all staring at him, like, you realize, like, we can all hear you here. Yeah, there it is. Welcome back. Stephen Kellogg teaching you how to do it. Here we go. One of the things that songs are useful for is paying tribute to people and things that you love. And I wrote this song as a eulogy for my mother-in-law. And I don't think I realized, because you get busy in life, right? And I don't think I realized when she passed away, I'm not sure I realized what a huge hole, had just been ripped into the universe. And not just for me, but for my wife. And my wife, she's my best friend, and her best friend was her mom, and she died very young. And so I wrote this song as a eulogy. It's one of the hardest songs I've ever had to sing. But this is what you signed up for, guys. So here we go. Ingrid, I hope you're here. Ingrid song, from this place she now is gone. No location in the heavens that she can't reach. Goodbye, sister, goodbye, mom. You were kind, you were strong. There's no lesson that was lost on us, you see. Something tells me you'll still guide us from above. Ingrid's song, like a phoenix in the dawn. She will rise, she has risen from this earthly place.
We will feel her in the words. We can feel her in the wind. If you look closely, you can see her written on her children's faces. She has left a mark indelibly in love. And there's so much love. There's so much love now. There's so much love now. So much love. Goodbye, bride, goodbye, friend. Peace until we meet again. You keep company with angels, though we'll miss you every day. Ingrid's song will eternally play on, and every note will be a legacy that plays. Every note will be a legacy that stays. Ingrid's song.
I was saying in the meet and greet beforehand, I'm like, I don't think tonight might be the night where I get stoic. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, guys. We'll see. But God, I love that picture. I love that picture of you. That was your master's degree, right? Westfield. Second master's degree. 2 master's degree, my wife. Smartest person in the house. And she's a professional Uber driver for our children. We carry this mug, and we toast you, Ingrid. We love you so much. All right. Where are we going next? Okay. I'm going to tell you I got to tell you some stories about what's going on throughout the course of the night, because otherwise I don't know whose idea this was anyway. But I do like playing these songs because as I wrote kind of when I was promoting this show, I just was saying I think I would be a lot worse off if I didn't get to sing these songs and kind of get them out in the world and share them with you guys. I'm sort of I have a lot in my life. I have a really good life. I have a really, really good life, and I know that, but I've just always had this kind of Lincoln-esque melancholy. I relate to that, and but I'm so thankful for these songs because they've really helped me. And I don't think there's really anything sadder or scarier in the world than feeling like you're going through the human experience alone. And so this next song is a song that I wrote when my little brother's friend, when he was a sophomore in high school, he committed suicide. And it's just an incredibly hard thing, you know? And it is incredibly sad because you just wonder. It leaves this huge shroud over of just wondering what could have been, you know, with everyone that you leave behind. And so, you know, even my greatest enemies, like I feel a love for them and I hope for redemption for them, and you know, and so I guess I just want to say, hopefully no one out there is feeling so alone, but there is support, and members of the Kellogg team. I think my manager, she volunteers on a hotline for this last year. And obviously, I just want you to know you're not alone. And this is really hard. Even when things are good, it can be really hard. And I wrote this song with the hopes that you would know, may we never have to lose some beautiful person and all the possibility for those reasons. So let's try this. Born from blood, mother's hips, born this way, a normal kid, taciturn in the 9th degree. I know you've given up on me, religion and the things you need. When you get to heaven, don't wait for me, don't wait for me, don't wait for me, don't wait for me, yeah. Smoking gun, a gumdrop sweet, a rope and a chair, an old oak tree. Can't believe in what I can't see. Why have faith so easily? Religion and the things you need. When you get to heaven, don't wait for me, don't wait for me, don't wait for me, get away from me. And I know it doesn't feel like I'm trying. It's mostly 'cause I feel like I'm dying. But I need to, baby, escape, escape. So don't wait for me, don't wait for me, don't wait for me, don't wait for me. This is the important part of the song. All these hopeless thoughts, all this pain I caused, all the love I left behind, all these hopeless thoughts, all this pain I caused, all the love I left behind, yeah. All these hopeless thoughts, all this pain I caused, and all the love you leave behind, yeah. Don't wait for me, don't wait for me, yeah. All this hopeless thoughts, all this pain I caused, and all the love I left behind, all these these hopeless thoughts, all this pain I cause, all the love I left behind. You're not alone, friends. You're not alone. All right. Never done a show like this, but I want to tell you about something that happened a couple weeks ago. I spilled some champagne on my daughter Noelle's homework, and she was showing it to me. It was about to be turned in the next day, and she said, you know, we were looking at it. It was a little tour of the Grand Canyon, and I accidentally spilled some champagne, and she got very upset and said, "Dad, now my homework's going to smell like wine." And I said, "Not wine, honey. That's Frère Clicquot. That's French champagne. It's very expensive. Your friends will be impressed, and your teachers will too." And so here's to parenting, and here's to the hope that our children know they're loved and always feel that. So from there, we're going to move to another sad song on the list of sad songs that I've written in my life. This one was one of the toughest, not so much to write, but to actually sing it. You know, in an age where we have a lot of conspiracy theories and nonsense out on the internet being recirculated and things like that, it's very painful when you live in the community where the pain happens and you see people entertaining absurd theories, or you see second-rate politicians trying to grab the spotlight or whatever. They're out there, you know, giving credence to absurd ideas like, you know, that Sandy Hook didn't happen in this case, or, you know, it's very offensive, obviously, but the further you get out of that realm, the easier it is to believe, like, hey, maybe this is something that's real. But coming from this community here in Connecticut, and basically having my whole life change in one day, because I just realized any problem I'm having will never amount to what happened that day. I'll never get over it, ever. It's impossible to get over some things, you know? And so I wrote this song, and I remember part of what I want to do here is not just, you know, burn my heart out in front of you and make a damn fool of myself. But, you know, I also try to, we all want our lives to mean something, and you want to have an impact. And you want to just remind friends who might be reading things to, you know, just like, you know, conspiracy theories are mostly and largely fake. And here in Connecticut, we just had a day on there. I'll just never, ever get over this day. And so what I try to do is live a better life and not be afraid to you know, make something of myself, hopefully, and encourage my kids to make something of themselves, and to just take my hat off. But when I was singing this song, I probably did 15 takes before I made it to the second verse, even, just because all I could think of was the pain that those parents and families were in. And that is something that it's easy to forget, how much pain others are in this world. But these songs aren't just for feeling the blues and pretending and being depressed. They're supposed to heal and inspire us to. That's why I'm doing this show. I want to give you that. Huddled together in the wind, Sorry, guys. Just give me one more minute. I got this. Huddle together in the wind and try to stay strong. Protect your own. We will end as we began. Terrified and basically alone. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, there's a devil. He has shown us his face. I'm still not sure if there's a God, but anyway, I'm still gonna pray and pray and pray. Yeah, I'm still gonna pray and pray and pray. Hosanna, Hosanna, our hearts. Don't know how you still can breathe, but it means a lot to me. Your heart should never beat again. All is black now, and they say the hate won't win. But what keeps me up at night is that none of this can ever be made right. But I'm still gonna pray and pray and pray. Yeah, I'm still gonna pray and pray and pray. Hosanna, Hosanna, our hearts. Don't know how you still can breathe, but it means a lot to me. So huddle together in the wind and die in each other's arms if necessary. Thank you, Shady. Thank you for this slide. It comes just at the perfect time when I needed this slide. When I was thinking about the saddest songs that I have, you know, I thought of a song that is sad only because it's sweet to me. This is a new one. I don't know if you've heard it yet, but it's a new one that I'm hoping to record for a new album when that happens, which is hopefully sooner than later. And it's such a cliche, but it's so damn true that all these moments, you know, as a person who has generally spent most of his life longing for something that he maybe never had, and imagining that something that I need is in the past or in the distance, watching my kids grow up, watching this career that I have loved so very much for the last 20 years, and all the great opportunities and incredible moments to stand in front of audiences and gut myself or rock out or whatever, I'm just so incredibly grateful. And so I wrote this song in spite of the fact that I thought, is this too obvious? But it's a new one. I hope you like it. It's called It Goes Fast. All that gray in my beard and my hair hanging on by a damn thread. And meanwhile, my daughters are growing into these beautiful young women. Seems like only yesterday you climbed up in that bus. Picture with a big old K, and you're smiling back at us. Birthdays and recitals, driving you all over town. We were both so busy, trying not to let you down. But love's a one-way street, I know that's hard to understand. I see you in a rush, busy making all those plans. So if I hold your hand too long or I embarrass you in class, know I'm only hanging on, 'cause it goes fast. It goes fast. Cat was in the cradle as I work most every day, fumbling for the words, trying to know what I should say. When was I to push you? Where was I to let you be? If we had each other's eyes, can you imagine what we'd see? But love's a one-way street, and you will always have my heart. I know you're in a rush, you were from the very start. But all of your best moments and the worst ones too won't last, just like smoke right through your hand. It goes fast. It goes fast. Goes fast. The day your car rolls out the driveway, doesn't park you anymore. That is the day that we were getting you ready for. But love's a one-way street, and you were made to drive away. I hope I'm there to see it when you have your own someday. The difference between then and now, it was shorter than we knew. If you don't believe me, dear, someday you'll know it's true. We're not the first to feel this way, and we will not be the last. There's something about that old cliche. It goes fast. It goes fast. It goes fast. Like only yesterday I could hear my parents say, do not wish your life away, my son, my son. Make the rules up as you go. Some days they will feel real slow. Next thing that you know, you're looking back goes fast. It goes fast. It goes fast, yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you. So, we're going to take a quick pause to go to one from the vault, which I have something that is not sad planned for tonight. And then I'm going to do just a few more of these, if you dare. It's not a huge, long set list because, for obvious reasons, for my emotional well-being and yours. I just, so yeah, I'm going to go to the vault in a second. I want to tell you about the Kellogg Family Store and what we've got happening in there to battle our midlife crisis. Our own wonderful Lee Totten just made a brand new Frisbee that says AC/DC for middle-aged people who like Americana music, Stephen Kellogg. And Lee, thank you. Thank you for making that. It makes me happy. I'm going to be playing Frisbee with that myself. The Kellogg Family Store has been a lifeline this past year, and even as we move back into in-person shows and all that craziness and clubs struggle to get back on their feet, the Kellogg Family Store has continued to be our business. And my kids, whether they like it or not, do it, and I'm not always proud of my level of patience. I've had better moments and worse moments throughout this whole thing, but as we move back into it, I'm really excited that I got to do this more with my kids and that they got to see what a little business, a little pizza place, you know. I'm like a pizza place songwriter guy. That's who I am. I'm your local pizza joint. Me and the wife, and we're like, we got our kids working. You're like, they can't possibly be legal workers. It's true. It's true. It's like when Greta said to me the other day, and she said, well, Dad, I'm not going to get dessert if we keep going, because we were filling some orders, and I said, Greta, I said, not now. And she said, look, it's just a suggestion, Dad. I was like, all right, I see your point. And I'm over here. What do we have going on at the Kellogg Family Store? In case you haven't been with us in a while, we have a Symphony of Joy 2021 t-shirt. We have a Summer of Love 2021 t-shirt. We have a brand new, as of today, Ladies Festival tank top that says Death is by Foxes. I have spent most of my pandemic in my pajamas. My wife is a little more sophisticated, so she graduates to yoga clothes each day. But pretty much, we never get out of yoga clothes and pajamas all day long, except sometimes for these shows. So I got her a cool yoga shirt that she can wear. Not that your other yoga shirts aren't cool, but I'm like, pajamas and yoga clothes. They're nice, but it's not, variety's nice. Get yourself a t-shirt. Hey-o. If somehow you missed it, I wrote a book. It's coming up on the 1-year anniversary. We have a second edition out now with discussion questions, thoughts on a perfect life from an imperfect person. I have rarely felt more imperfect than today as I was trying to figure out how to do all this again. I was struggling a little bit, and it's just hard. So if you want to hear about a guy fumbling through life, it's a book for people that don't like to read books. We have a onesie that says, my parents did not practice social distancing. We have a guitar and lyric songbook with stories about the song. There's a book that was not written by me called Song of the Fool about being on the road with me and my band, the Sixers. That's back in stock at the Kellogg Family Store. We have new personalized guitar picks. We still have some vinyl and a handful of CDs left, although we're just about out. So we have like maybe half a dozen of the last CDs. So if you're into CDs, we have those. And for tonight only, this is only going to stay up through the weekend, and then this code will be retired, because I see occasionally people pull this code out months after the fact, which is perhaps the most ghetto move ever, but I'm not, whatever. I know you're just trying to save your buck, but you're supposed to use it soon. Tonight's code is Sad Songs. That is the Kellogg Family Store business. I tell you about this stuff because it really matters, and we notice, and it's a big deal. And we love you. And without further ado, I'm going to cut to the vault, and when I come back, I'm just going to do a few more sad songs for you. Thanks for being here, guys.
All these objects in the mirror, objects in the mirror. I still believe in the USA. I pay my taxes and I don't complain. The lightning rod we call the president. You think that you can do the job, my friend? Back on the donkeys and the hill of fence, I'm sinking ships instead of building things. It's alright, it's my brain. Last time I checked, it's just an opinion. It's alright, it's my brain. It's a beautiful thing. I still believe in the working class. No matter what you do, you're gonna have to bust your ass. Just 'cause somebody wears a suit and tie, that don't mean he's not like other guys. Sometimes you're looking for a sheep in the snow, but out of the shit is where the flowers grow. It's alright, it's my brain. If you don't use it, you might lose it, man. It's alright, it's my brain, and it's a beautiful thing. I still believe that things are free to choose, like who we love, who we're praying to. I'm not gonna tell a girl she cannot decide. I wish that I could choose the day I die. I'm shaking hands with soldiers overseas. Peace comes when you can scare your enemies. It's alright, it's my brain, yeah. You may not like it, but I'm free to say it's alright, it's my brain. Oh, that's a beautiful thing. I'd like to drop a house on my TV and all the shows they call reality. Some two-faced loser in his mom's garage will make you think you need an entourage. The things we'll do to try to be a star. I got a drink for your face and you know who you are. It's alright, it's my brain. I said last time I checked, that's an opinion. It's alright, it's my brain. You got yours, I got mine. As soon as I may deal with no time. It's alright, it's the brain. It's a beautiful thing. I said a 1, 2, well, a 1, 2, 3. Yeah, sometimes you get the bear, sometimes the bear gets you. Sometimes you're gonna win, sometimes you're gonna lose, but you know in the end, it's all the same to me. Well, sometimes you fall on your head, sometimes your head falls on you. Everyone I know is running around feeling blue, but you know that in the end, there ain't no apologies. too, but you knew. In the end, it's all a sight to see. We are having some fun. Are you guys having fun?
Fun clip. Something I forgot to tell you that was in that clip. I really wished I told you before because it would have been more meaningful. But this show will be on demand all weekend if you want to go back and zero in on this. So during that show, 2015, really fun band out there. We had Zach from Ray LaMontagne and Josh Ritter's band. We had Miranda, our Canadian fiddle player. She's wonderful. Sam Getz from Wellesley Arms on guitar, and of course Boots on the drums. And so we had a sold-out show there at the Hamilton Theater in Washington, D.C. And what happened was, about midway through the show, right around that clip that I showed you, I really wanted to tell you about this beforehand, was a pipe burst, and it was a sewer pipe. So it actually burst while we were playing Diamond, but as I was playing Diamond, which was a song that came before this, a kind of, unpleasant smell came over the venue, and there were hundreds of people there, so you're kind of, people are starting to look around accusatorily, and you're like, okay, what's happening here? So then I was in the Brain, and which is the first song that you just heard, and you noticed I forgot some lyrics and stuff because the smell became so overwhelming. But a lot of times when I'm playing, I don't have a chance to turn around and look at the guys. So I'm kind of like, what's happening? Like, is somebody ill and is this a fan? Is this somebody from the group? And so what happened was when we finished the Brain, I screwed up some words. We all looked at each other to get the ending. And then I walked over to Zach on bass, and you see us hug and start laughing because he goes, "Not me, boss." And then I turned around, I looked at Boots, and we can't believe it, because in our 20 years of playing together, we're just like, this is surreal. And we just went into the Bear, and I mean, it was that's the stuff you end up remembering from the road. So go back, check it out. It's really, really fun to think of the cloud that we were all playing in, and to just watch, like, you know, anybody who was on a first date that night, it didn't work out. Like, it was just like, uh-oh, you know, like it's her, it's him, uh-oh, yuck, you know. Yuck City. So to keep the vibe high before we move into the grand finale of Sad Songs, I have today's good news. After a year and a half, the full band is going to be playing a show June 10th. We're going to live stream it. It's going to be filmed in front of an audience at the Katharine Hepburn Cultural Center in Old Saybrook, Connecticut. A beautiful small theater. We're doing it as a limited capacity thing so that everybody can be spread out. But we will have a real audience there in front of us, and we are going to stream it out June 10th. The show will be, a ticket will be free with any purchase from the Kellogg Family Store between tonight and June 10th. If you pick up anything, doesn't matter what it is, you'll get a free ticket to that. And it is going to be we have a 6-camera shoot going on. It'll be the whole band. We're going to all be, is there misinformation up there? A live stream ticket. What do I say about a live stream ticket? So it will be, you'll get a live, oh, that's right, yeah, I see what's being discussed down here you won't get a ticket to the in-person. You're going to have to call the theater. Yeah, if people showed up like, I bought a $10 digital album from Kellogg. Where's my seat at the theater? No, it's going to be very limited capacity, and there's a few tickets left for the in-person, but you have to take that up with the theater. But for live stream, I'm so excited to share this with you and to just let you know that even though we're breaking down this set, we're still hoping to kind of pepper some things in throughout the summer and then maybe come back and do some more in the fall. But for now, we're announcing June 10th, a full band rock and roll show live from the Kate Theater in Old Saybrook, Connecticut, free with any purchase from the Kellogg Family Store. So now you're like, oh damn, it's a free ticket, but I got to remember the free code. How do we save money? The amount of time we spend trying to save money. I heard my wife on the phone with the insurance company today because they have charged us for this COVID test. It's not a ton of money, but they keep charging us for this test we never took, and it's infuriating. And I heard Kirsten, who is so much more patient than me, understatement of the year, on the phone with them today going, but we didn't take the test. Like, you know, just like, health insurance, wee. Anyway, keeping it positive, full band live stream, June 10th. If there are new merch items in the store, but if you really don't see anything, you can also get a standalone ticket. So that's exciting to me. Cookie, Boots, Wex, and Donnelly will all be there. So from that, we're moving back to the theme at hand. When I think of the saddest songs I have, one of them is the song that I debuted at my last Sixers show, which is still to this day the biggest headline crowd I ever played to. It was in New York City in November of 2012, and we debuted this song, and this was the end of the show. Great photographer Megan Baker captured this shot at the end of the night. And I introduced this then new song, I Don't Want to Die on the Road, because the thing is, I had built a whole career on being a generally fun, a person that loves the road. And here's the hard part. I do love the road. I do love being out there. I love the adventure. I love the possibility of things meaning something, like I said earlier. But at the same time, after spending a year actually being with my children more and stuff, and being able to get enough sleep and things like that, I realized I really would like to be at their weddings too, and I'd like to be a little healthier than I had gotten, and on all those things. I know these aren't unique sentiments and that you can understand, but I wrote this song for my bandmates because the Sixers essentially broke up because we just thought this isn't sustainable. We didn't get quite big enough to have it be easy enough to endure. It just became a physical labor that we just weren't strong enough to continue to endure. And I wrote this song because I wanted them to know that I felt that way too. That didn't keep me from continuing to be on the road for the last 9 years, and I don't know if I'll ever change. I don't know, but I know that that it's not my ambition to be like a road dog. I never view that as a compliment when someone says, like, boy, you can take a punch. That's not really what I'm trying to do here. And I needed my band to know that because we worked tremendously hard. And I just needed them to understand that it wasn't my choice that we would work as hard as we did. You know, we were aiming at something where maybe it would get a little easier someday, and it never did. And I don't have a single regret about it, but I know that I don't want to die on the road. From Jackson Brown to Levon Helm, to all the things I care about. It took a while, but I found out the truth. If nothing gold can ever stay, you take the cards you dealt today, make a man to something you can use. The dreams I had when I was younger, some so wild and filled with wonder, some that I have failed to recognize. For all these kids and all this noise and all that time spent with the boys, I don't know why it comes as a surprise that I don't want to die on the road, someplace that is not my home. I've been wrong before, but this I know, that I don't want to die on the road. If rock and roll can save your soul, it's also gonna take its toll. You get the things you give, and I gave this a lot. Buddy Holly, Stevie Ray, Harry Chapin, Jim Croce, Patsy Cline, Otis Redding. I miss John Prine so much, but not my name today. If there's something you don't want to hear, then keep your hands upon your ears. Remember though that there will come a time when all you've said is all you'll say, and you might as well kill me today. If this is all I'm gonna leave behind, see, I don't wanna die on the road, someplace I don't even know. I've been wrong before, but this I know, that I don't wanna die. No, I don't wanna die. He says, as he's surrounded by pictures of Jimi Hendrix, I got all my heroes on the walls. Oops. Ra-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, let's move to a love song. Even in sad songs, we have a love song. This is the oldest couple living in the world right now. Boy, don't they look beautiful. I did my first gig back after not playing for people in a long time. I played for a Botox injectors corporate gig. I appreciated the gig, helped me pay my rent, among other things, and I know that the fellow who booked me really appreciated me being there. These people didn't have Botox from what I can tell, and they look damn pretty, and they look damn nice. So all you people that think you don't look pretty enough, check these guys out. Check it out. Check it. Everybody eat grouper. Anyway. Love song. I wrote this song. I can remember the night like it was yesterday. We didn't have central air yet, which is not a crisis. I saw a documentary with the Eagles recently, and Don Henley's like, we used to have to share a hotel room with other, and it's like, what a dick. Really, seriously, how much of it, I'm just proud of the fact that our band kind of graduated and decided, like, we're going to treat ourselves to each getting our own bed from now on. Like, we might get a cot, but we're going to not have to sleep with each other anymore now that we're in our 40s. That was our big treat in our organization. So when I watched Don Henley on this Eagles documentary being like, if you can believe it, we used to have to share a hotel room. It's like, what an arrogant prick. That's the kind of human that has no idea what other people are going through. And so I wrote this song one night. We didn't have central air. I realize it's not a huge hardship, but it was a very hot house in a very hot summer, and we had the babies, and they were very, even at a young age, aware that, why do you guys get to have a cold room and we sleep in this hot room? And it was like, it's kind of a mess. And so I was in there one night, and we were all piled on my wife, as we do. All the babies that existed at that point were the sleeping basically on top of her. I can't even, like, if my cat is on me when I fall asleep, I have to, like, knock her off after a pretty short time. But a mother's instinct there was epic. She was just like, okay, I have a heavy baby here, I have this. And then I, like, nuzzle myself in there because, let's be honest, I'm also of baby status. And so I got in there, and I could hear her heart beating. And I realized in the darkness, which is where all the fear comes out, I realized that we're not going to live forever. And whether it's her or whether it's me, the likelihood that one of us is going to have to spend some time in this physical space without each other, you know, and that just became glaringly apparent, as it does, as all the fear when it gets dark. But I heard her heart beating, and I knew that she would probably handle it better than me, and that scared me and made me feel not very strong, and I couldn't lift my head off her heart. But the next day, I wrote this song about that experience. So. As we lay there in the dark, you said you could hear my heart. Then you started to cry, 'cause someday I'm gonna die. When the body slows, what the heart just knows is that the soul lets go. Where does it go? I don't know. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, oh, oh. Now I Jesus as anything but a man. I worry that religion is doing less good than bad, and I know that makes a lot of good people mad. But when the heart just slows, feel it in your bones, is that the soul lets go? Where does it go? Oh, and I don't know. Oh, 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 and I'm scared that when they call me up, will I have done enough? I cannot see how. But as we lay there in the dark, darling, I could hear your heart pound. And I know that without that sound, mine, it'd probably give out. When the body slows, you feel it in your bones. Is it the soul lets go? Where does it go? Oh, I could get down on my knees, but I don't know. Oh, oh, oh. And you don't know. Oh, oh, oh. And we don't know. Oh, oh, oh. But no one knows, yeah. As we lay there in the dark, darling, you said you could hear my heart, baby. I could get down on my knees, but I don't know. I just don't know. Thank you. All right, friends. Home stretch, home stretch. Nothing like a baby shot. This is me and my grandpa. No way I could play the saddest songs without playing the first song I ever cried in the studio while I was recording it. I wrote this one the week that my grandfather passed away, and I really felt what it means to finally to ache. And so I wrote this one. Like so many, I told you there was going to be death, divorce, and growing up. And I think after this, it's growing up all the way home. But Poppy, man. I was going to say, I hope you're proud. That's the crux of this song. I could pretty much stop and not play the song now if I... Jesus. Blowing your nose is not cool. Crying a little is super cool. Crying a lot is not cool. But just think, when we do volume 2, it'll be like the not quite as sad songs. It'll be just kind of like happy, like pleasantly melancholy, but not such a freaking mess. I love you guys. Thanks for letting me do this. Luckily, I only have a reasonably small amount of fans out in the world, so it's not like it must be hard to have everything all over YouTube and whatever, but I love you. Here we go. For anyone you're missing. Late at night you find yourself considering what was said as you replay conversations and you wish that you were dead. I'm not saying you were perfect, 'cause no one really is, but perfection's and perception, and it's what you make of it. I miss you, man. I miss you, man. And I will not forget who bought me my guitars, 'cause when people change your life, you remember who they are. I'm not saying you were perfect, 'cause no one really is. Oh, but perfection's and perceptions, what you make of it. I miss you, man. I miss you, man. And there's no regrets, and it's only there. I miss you, and what does it matter anyway if we're all gonna die? If the only things we take away are the things we kept inside, you can bet my point of view, in the sense that I'm always right, will be nowhere to be found at the end of the night. I miss you, man. The substitute profession, it'd never really do. I find myself wishing that I was more like you. In spite of my successes, however small they've been, my tongue sometimes betrays me and my ancestry again. And I miss you, man. I miss you, man. And there's no regrets, but it's only they. I miss you. Thank you. I got one more song for you. Hope you had fun. I don't know. Honestly, I'm sure that I will process this show and feel different. Right now I feel sort of just embarrassed. I know that you're friends and I know there's nothing to be embarrassed about, but also I don't know. Sometimes my kids trip and fall, and I'm like, there's nothing to be embarrassed about, but it's embarrassing, you fall or you do something, and That's why I love that show, Modern Family. I'm like Cam from Modern Family. When Claire tells him that he shouldn't wear biker shorts, and he's like, okay, thank you for telling me, and then goes in the other room and sobs. That's my existence. But I feel like I'm in a safe zone with the 100 or so of you that are tuned in tonight. Thank you for, I feel like I made some mistakes and I've just been a mess. But I hope you've had fun in whatever weird way a sad song show is fun. And I love the fact that I got to do this. I don't regret it. I'm going to close the show with this song because it is about hope. But I said that these songs would be about divorce, death, and growing up. And this one, for me, was when I sort of realized that sometimes you lose friends, people fall out of your life in a graceless way on occasion. And it's very hard, super hard. You watch relationships you thought would never end disappear. Or someone dies unexpectedly, or you do something awful, and you have to reconcile that. And when I think of sad, truly sad songs, that's one of the saddest things there is about life, is that sometimes you just pummel your way through it, and in spite of your best effort, something goes awry. So I wrote this song about all those friends and associates and acquaintances who I've lost along the way for one reason or another. I'm sorry. I ask for your forgiveness. If you have anybody you need to ask for their forgiveness, don't be afraid to ask for forgiveness, and don't be afraid to give forgiveness, even if someone has hurt you in some way that feels unforgivable. Because forgiveness is probably the most powerful thing in combating the sadness. If you forgive the world for hurting you so much, it hurts less. There were lovely red flowers lining the trees, and they smelled like perfume on the hand of a queen. The car had just married on the back window. The future was open. How could we ever have known? From South San Diego to Portland, Maine, I've traveled this country seeking my fame, and through all the what fors, through flames and trapdoors, which all of us fell. The stories that I cannot tell, and I wish that I. Now the ocean tide's coming up with the moon. I'm afraid we're all living at sea level too. You're seeing this part of the tragedy through. When that bottle will break, the cradle will fall down on you. A second-rate author of his own epitaph, all this potent potential destroyed in the graph. You think to yourself, I'll get lucky at cards. Man, you don't even know who the hell that you are. And I wish that I was born in the spring. Now, son of a bitch, 'cause the daughters are damned. That's the way that it is. And nothing much changes out in the sun when the wine that you drink is the wine you become. When you say maybe this time I can dig out of this, so the family relents, but you still get yourself pissed. And suddenly everyone, well, they got some advice. You sell their suggestions without thinking twice. The friends that I've had and the friends that I've made, the ones that I lost through my hapless mistakes. And isn't it all just a slap in the face that no single person could take up the place of her? And I wish that I was born in the spring, was born in the spring, 'cause everyone's gone, we all die, don't you know? Are you so disappointed that it all was a show? And the first love you had was the only thing real, and what brought it together in the end was the cure. And I wish I was born in the spring. The healing and forgiveness brings, born in the spring. Kirsten flashed me the first time I started crying on this when the pandemic began, but two things. One, Lee's here tonight, and she never did it again, but it was an awesome thing. So thank you for that, and hopefully your dad's not watching. I don't think he's watching tonight, but this is payback. Ed, if you're watching, this is, A, we're 44, and B, this is payback for when we went golfing last month, and you hit a bad shot, and you said, "That's my son-in-law drive," and I said, "What do you mean?" You said, "Not what I had in mind, but it'll do." It's okay. We all got to grow up someday. Thank you for tuning in tonight. That's a bit of banter that we'll probably never see the light of day again, but thank you. Welcome to the Kellogg House. The kids are upstairs. Maybe they're watching too. Who knows? I don't even know. I don't know what to say about it all, but we did it. We made it through. Thank you so much for being here. Again, I'm gonna be back with a full band live stream. Some sad songs, but not many sad songs. We got a lot of fun stuff planned for June 10th, live from the Cape Theater. You get a free ticket if you, with any purchase from the Kellogg Family Store. You don't even need to do anything. And if you do end up ordering something tonight, you can use the Sad Songs shipping code. One of the cheapest, coolest things we have now is this Frisbee. I'm pretty excited about the Frisbee. What says summer like a Frisbee? That is just the best. I hope we see you soon in person, on here. Thank you. I'm a professional, whether it seems like it or not. I just appreciate you and I love you. And I'm going to leave you with this one last encore song. I would love to play an encore. I had no idea, but I thought, sure, I'll do it. I played this once before, and that's it. So it may go tits up, as Miss Maisel says. But it's a really hopeful, sad song. It's only sad because of the amount of love that I feel for my daughters. And for the people that I love so much in my life. So it's a new song. I hope you like it. And I wrote it the first time that my daughter got her heart broken. And probably not the last. And that's one of the hard things you experience with people you love, is knowing that you're probably going to get your heart broken again. And And loving someone isn't about preventing their heart getting broken. It's about being there for them when their heart does break. Hey there, darling, I hear that you're feeling low, that you had a bit of news that made it so. I know ice cream, it doesn't mend a broken heart, but we're here with you now, and I think that's a start. And of all the things I've learned throughout the years, full of laughter and unfortunately tears, it's that when you trust somebody, there's a risk you take, but love is a worthwhile mistake. So don't let some stupid boy take that away. You will live to love another day. I know right now there ain't much that I could say, but give it time, I promise it'll go away. So we'll get in the car, we will roll those windows down, we'll play Queen so loud till the sound drowns out everything that hurts your heart. And of all the things I've learned throughout the years, full of laughter and unfortunately tears, it's that when you trust somebody, there's a risk you take, but love is a worthwhile mistake. So don't let some stupid boy take that away. You will live to love another day. And it's just like the movies, you knew right where you were going, and you're watching in slow motion at the parts they're never showing. You thought she had it figured out. Girl, I've been there too, but it never hurts as much as when it's you. I can't buy a correct chord here, but that's okay. It's just gonna get better. 'Cause when you love somebody, friends, there's a risk you take, and love, that's a worthwhile mistake. Don't let anybody else take that away. You will live to love another day. And if you ever hear a single thing I say, believe that you will live to love another day. Oh yeah, you will live to love another day. Yeah. Friends, we'll live to love another day. I love you all so much. Bunch of in-person shows coming up. We're adding new ones every week. Thank you so much for letting me go deep and sad with you tonight. Take care of yourselves and be well.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight and for being a part of the Winter Virtual Tour 2021. We've got more shows coming up, and you can get tickets at StephenKellogg.com or KelloggFamilyStore.com. We've also got my new book, a song book, long sleeve and short sleeve t-shirts, onesies, sweatshirts, vinyl, CDs, program guides, set lists, and more things that I'm forgetting. Workshops, all of it. Thank you to my team. We couldn't do this without you. Take good care of yourselves, be safe, and we will see you guys really, really soon. Thanks for being here.
I've had enough.